after the US Supreme Court upheld the ban on social media platform TikTok unless its parent company, ByteDance, divests from the app. The ball is now in US President-elect Donald Trump's court. The social media platform, which was banned in India in 2019 over national security concerns, may face a similar fate in the US unless outgoing President Joe Biden's administration states that it will not enforce the law banning the Chinese-owned social media app. Well, this report explains the details of the looming TikTok ban in the US.
We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in, we will never give up, we will never, ever back down, and we will never, ever, ever, ever surrender.
It seems the fears of 170 million TikTok users in the US are set to come true, as the social media platform warned that it will go dark in the country on Sunday, January the 19th, unless President Joe Biden's administration provides assurances to companies like Apple and Google that they will not face enforcement actions when a ban takes effect. The ban is set to go ahead after the US Supreme Court upheld a federal law banning TikTok unless its China-based parent company sells it. However, President-elect Donald Trump's response has given TikTok users a glimmer of hope. President-elect Trump tweeted acknowledging the court's decision, calling it expected and urging respect for the ruling. He also stated that he will soon make a decision regarding the TikTok ban, but must take some time to review the situation. Trump also said that in his call with Chinese President Xi Jinping, he had discussed the TikTok case. TikTok's CEO was quick to react, thanking President-elect Trump for his reassurances.
On behalf of everyone at TikTok and all our users across the country, I want to thank President Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States.
While TikTok executives remain optimistic, what the TikTok ban will look like and how it would be enforced remains uncertain. President Joe Biden assured users that his administration will not ban the app, setting the stage for a potential reversal of the court's decision. The White House stated that it will leave the enforcement of the ban to the incoming Trump administration. This makes Trump's promise to review the matter crucial. With Sunday's deadline fast approaching, all eyes are on the Trump administration as the court awaits a decision that could redefine TikTok's presence in the United States. Bureau Report, NDTV World.
I want to talk about it. We have national security commentator on U.S. national security, John Rosamando, joining us in the broadcast. We also have Republican strategist Alex Zidane. We have Mayor Michael Owens, President, U.S. Global Center for Cyber Policy, and a Democrat supporter joining us on the broadcast here. Thank you so much for all my panelists for joining us here on the broadcast here. Well, if I could come to Alex Zidane first. Alex, what does the Republican Party think of the ban? Does TikTok need to be saved? Would Donald Trump help save it?
Well, look, this is a complex issue because it deals with issues of free speech. We have free speech in the United States of America, and that right is sacrosanct. However, the method by which you engage your free speech right is not set in stone. President Trump is taking the right move to review it, but we know the Supreme Court does not agree on much. But the Supreme Court unanimously agreed 9-0 that TikTok is in the hands of a foreign adversary, the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party is using TikTok to surveil and gather data on Americans. The Chinese Communist Party is doing their best to socially engineer our young people through the algorithm in the TikTok app. TikTok is a national security threat, and I hope that President Trump continues this ban after he completes his review.
But we've heard Donald Trump saying that he has a warm spot for TikTok and he wants to save it. This, of course, comes on the eve of Donald Trump's inauguration. He's changed his stance from 2020 to now, saying that he would save the app. He himself had signed the executive order in 2020 saying that the US must take aggressive action against the owners of TikTok to protect the national security. But what about the statements that he's been making now? What's changed now?
Well, nothing's changed. Saving the app can take many different forms. Don't forget, this law is a ban or divest. And if President Trump can guide ByteDance to divest from the app, cut its ties to the Chinese Communist Party, make TikTok a safe app that Americans and their children can use with peace of mind, that it's not in the hands of our enemy, the Chinese Communist Party, then that will be a great victory.
Okay. Let me go to Mayor Michael Owens. I'll go to John in just a bit. Mr. Owens, do you think Donald Trump can do that?
Whether he can do that is secondary, I think, to the main issue of ensuring that national security and digital security is paramount. You know, and I say that as a cybersecurity practitioner, but also as a mayor of Mapleton, Georgia, where I understand that TikTok has grown into a platform that provides a livelihood for our citizens here in the United States. But that cannot surmount the need to have, looking at it from this global cybersecurity lens, where, you know, as the previous guest just said, it is a national security threat. We know that, we've known that for quite some time, and it's about doing the right thing about it. A divestiture is definitely something that I think is on par for this, but I think the Supreme Court got this exactly right. Yes, does this cause a burden on free speech? There is I think the Supreme Court acknowledged that. But ByteDance and their close ties to the Chinese government is something that we have to make sure that as a nation that we are secure on.
During the arguments in the court, also the Justice Department maintained that the Chinese control of TikTok poses a grave threat to U.S. national security. The sensitive data of lakhs of Americans could be misused for harassment, even espionage, and harm the United States. But sir, several lawmakers from your party had also urged Joe Biden to consider delaying the ban, since it is expected to harm businesses across the country. Why didn't the Biden administration consider it?
You know, the timing of this ban, you know, just before the inauguration, over a holiday weekend, you know, really creates significant challenges for the implementation if you're looking at this from a Biden administration standpoint. You know, in this really critical moment, as you mentioned yourself, Trump has called for this in the past. So it's not like he's being caught off guard with this. He's clearly understanding about where this is and what's happening. And I think, too, we have to look at the reality of the people who are making livelihoods out of this. Yes, we have a lot of citizens, even here in my city alone, we have people who are using TikTok that is earning revenue on this platform. So we have to be mindful of that as well.
All right, Mr. Rosamando, if I could come to you. The TikTok fight has unfolded during the waning days of Biden's presidency. Donald Trump will take over just day after tomorrow. It also comes at a time of rising tensions between the world's two biggest rivals. How do you see this playing out?
Well, I mean, if you look at what President Trump said about TikTok and how it helped to drive young people toward his campaign, so that's why he has a soft spot. But he also has to consider things such as the fact that ByteDance has a contract with the Chinese Ministry of Public Security, which is part of its intelligence apparatus to provide information gained from TikTok to China's intelligence. So that's the main thing that has to be considered. I mean, TikTok spies on hundreds of millions of Americans who use it, and you know, it has to be something that continues. If you look at Marco Rubio, you know, the incoming Secretary of State, he's been a major opponent of TikTok. So I think that President Trump will listen to his advisors and what they decide.
But can he circumvent a TikTok ban? I mean, is there any other option? And also, you know, I want to understand from you, what's the option with American users now? TikTok will have to shut shop by tomorrow if no action is taken. It's a popular video app used by about 170 million Americans.
Well, I think that, you know, the President Trump should put more pressure onto TikTok to sell the app to Microsoft or some X or some other provider in order to continue in the U.S. I'm sure it will be a bit of a blow for people who use it, but you know, there are lots of apps and sites like MySpace that no one uses anymore. the market will recover.
All right, all right. Let me go across to Alex once again. Alex, well, you of course would know that India had banned TikTok 5 years ago, and we've had similar concerns then also, including cybersecurity threat. Now, many nations also have limited users' access to TikTok. What do you think? No, nobody really. Both sides do not really want to take any side, do not really want to take a firm position, but it does pose a danger.
Well, I think India led the way on this issue. I think India did an excellent thing in 2019. But I'm not going to take a nuanced position on this. It's either to TikTok and the Chinese Communist Party either divest or get the hell out. That's the line that we have to draw, because the Chinese Communist Party's influence campaign that is both covert and overt is not going to stop. But this enables the United States and the United States government to shut off an avenue of access to the Chinese Communist Party to protect our citizens. The TikTok algorithm is poison. The stuff that TikTok is spreading, likely with the knowledge, assistance, and ideas of the Chinese Communist Party, is doing damage to the development of our children. Our children. We need to protect that resource. TikTok cannot be in the Chinese Communist Party's hands.
Okay, well, there are many billionaires who are attending Trump's inauguration. That includes Elon Musk, who's been a friend of Donald Trump, also Zuckerberg and Bezos. Do you think there could be, maybe Donald Trump would be able to influence one of those, like Musk did, take over Twitter as well, to do the same with TikTok?
I think Elon Musk is already thinking about that. And you bring up an excellent point about these social media apps and the users, the people who do make their living off TikTok, those small business people, I understand what they're going to be going through if TikTok goes dark. But there are other options. The wonderful thing about the amount of apps that we have right now is you have other options. You have Instagram Reels, you have X, you have Lemonade, you have all different kinds of ways to get your message and your business out there. And that's something that needs to be considered during this divest or ban debate. There are always other options for people to market through social media.
All right, John, if I could come to you, there has been a backlash from the citizens of the country against this ban, of course, saying it takes away their livelihood, the point that I was making earlier as well, and their earnings, of course. Are the two parties really afraid of rattling this base? Is that the reason that nobody really wants to take a side?
Well, I think that a lot of people are on TikTok, and it's become very popular. People don't want to rattle people's cages, but they also need to consider who they're giving their data to. It's not like Google. You're giving your data to a hostile intelligence service. So I think that's something that people need to come to their grips about. That national security outweighs your right to use TikTok. You can find another app, and pending the Elon Musk or some other billionaire convincing the Chinese Communist Party to sell TikTok.
Absolutely. And of course, the question that I asked to Alex Zidane also, about the billionaires who are going to attend the Trump's inauguration. Do you think that looks like one of the options about Elon Musk and other billionaires that we spoke about? John, if you're able to hear my voice, that question is for you.
For me?
Yes, yes. Do you think that's the option? We've been talking about what both party commentators here are talking about is the takeover of the app, and of course a divestment option that is very much required here. So, do you think all the billionaires who are going to be attending Trump's inauguration, there could be one option amongst them?
Well, of course there are options, but it's just a matter. Is the Chinese Communist Party willing to part with their intelligence collection app? I mean, I think that's the real question. You know, you can have Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, some of the other Silicon Valley billionaires, offer to buy the TikTok platform from ByteDance, which is basically a subsidiary of the Chinese Communist Party, and then it requires whether or not is the Chinese Communist Party willing to let ByteDance let TikTok go in the United States.
So does TikTok really have any option left but to shut shop?
TikTok has no options right now, other than shutting down or selling the app to an American company to run it on American servers without being compromised by a hostile intelligence agency.
So what's the future? I mean, it's shutting shop in America. It was already banned in India. What happens to TikTok then?
Well, I think it depends on the rest of the world. I mean, it's still open shop in the European Union, most of Asia, Africa, Latin America. So, I mean, there's a lot more than just the United States engaging with TikTok. I mean, the other thing that's really concerning is you have ISIS now and its supporters posting terrorist propaganda on TikTok. So I think that we have to really put the screws to ByteDance and to Xi Jinping to let go of TikTok in terms of its operations in the U.S.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, John, as well as Mr. Alex Zidane and Mayor Michael Owens for joining us here on the broadcast and sharing your valuable inputs there. Well, TikTok, which is a very popular video app and is used by almost half of America, well, it's going to shut shop by tomorrow, and the clock, of course, is ticking. There is no option left with TikTok, really. But, we do understand US has decided to ban TikTok after it raised national security threat, and both sides, if it's the Democrats or the Republicans, haven't really decided to take a position on this. We've heard statements coming in from Donald Trump earlier in 2020. He signed an executive order, and after that, recently he said that he has a soft spot for TikTok. So what really happens in the future remains to be seen, but this is for sure that TikTok will have no other option but to shut shop tomorrow.